Hello there, it's Steve Saunders. I just wanted to share with you part 3 of the learnings I've taken from Professor Frank Dick OBE's webinar that he did last couple of weeks ago now. Listening into Frank, it was a really fascinating topics that he spoke about, and 5 areas he did mention. I'll go through them again really. Resilience is an attitude, coaches tell stories, perform under pressure, know yourself and know your people, and raise your game consistently. They were the 5 key areas that he spoke about. This is part 3 today. So it's perform under pressure, all about performing under pressure. So it's really interesting that in sports, the top players always seem to deliver at the key moments. And if you look at tennis, some of the likes of Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, they always seem to bring out their best shots when they most need them. And that pressure that they've developed, they're just used to handling that kind of pressure. And of course, did that come naturally? Maybe, but they've certainly worked on it and improved it. So certainly looking at pressure, you can replicate that pressure. So how do you feel when you're talking on the phone to that new prospect, or you're making that presentation to some new clients in a new boardroom? They are kind of areas that are pressure. So you want to be looking at that and seeing how you can cope with the pressure that's being built up. Frank told us a great story. It's one that it's probably you may or may not know if you have any historians among you. And he spoke about being effective under pressure and being competitive in a new world. And obviously we're moving in now to a new, what will be a new world in as much as things will be different once we come through the other side of this COVID-19 crisis. So it's interesting, a new world analogy taken from the 1519 really. So the Spanish conquistador Cortez, he actually invaded, I mean that's what they did really, invaded the Aztecs down there in Mexico, in South America, and him and his team, he knew that they were going to be greatly outnumbered by the occupying inhabitants for sure, but he made sure that his men were committed to the battle. So what he did, legendary, as legend has it, that he actually destroyed his boats. So the boats that the sailing ships that they'd sailed down there from Spain down to Mexico, he made sure that those boats were no longer seaworthy. So they were destroyed, and so that the men had no option. But you've only got to go forward. You've got to keep going forward. So their option was zero. They couldn't go backwards. They just had to go forward and overcome the foe that they faced. So it's an interesting analogy there, that what is it that often that you look to do to change careers perhaps, and you've perhaps got one eye on, well, I wonder if I went back to where I was working. Well, if you adopt that Cortez mentality of, right, no, burn the bridges, focus on what's ahead and push forward. So that's what the story from Frank for today was, or today is. It's that performing under pressure and that resilience of the Spanish conquistadors overcoming the Aztecs. So interesting slight on history there. So hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow with the next part, which will be part 4 of my learnings from Professor Frank Dick. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.